Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunati Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopejana Vallabha Giribaradari Gopejana Vallabha Giribarada Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Dana Raja Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Vanachari. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution. Okay, ladies and gentle persons. This book here, Our Family Business. Has anybody read this book, Our Family Business? Anyone? I don't know. It's an amazing book, actually. The great art of distributing Srila Prabhupada's books by Vaiseshika Das. Has anybody met Vaiseshika Das? He's an amazing devotee, some devotee. And the whole world is gone. He must be about the most vibrant, determined, enthusiastic, whatever you want, for pushing books. He's some force. Anyway, I'll be back to this. I don't suggest you. Srila Prabhupada asked his novice followers to distribute his books, and they found the way forward by bravely jumping in and trying. Without a handbook or someone else's example to follow, with only their fixed determination to apply the order of their spiritual master, these youngsters took up a practical service. The process that would eventually allow them to see Krishna face to face. Srila Prabhupada had taught them, instead of being eager to see the Lord in some bush of Vrindavan, while at the same time engaging in sense gratification, if one instead sticks to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master, he will see the Supreme Lord without difficulty. True, Mahatma's team members and others like them around the world were being showered with profound spiritual benefit, but they were themselves creating a soothing rain of transcendental literature to descend on the dry, thirsty hearts of the world's inhabitants. Willing to take up what their spiritual master had asked them to do, they became spiritually intoxicated and felt the guiding touch of Krishna's lotus hand. While going door to door to distribute BTGs that Thanksgiving Day, methodically showed the hardbound Krishna book alongside the BTG. Thinking it improbable that a stranger would agree to buy such an expensive religious book, they tried nonetheless. As expected, there were no takers, or so most of them thought. At the end of the day, as the members of Mahatma's team made their way back to the Sankirtan van, one of the devotees excitedly blurted out, "I had a major unforeseen accident." They were puzzled by the outburst until he shouted, "I sold a Krishna book." Mahatma remembers. When we heard this, we were in total shock. Our whole world was turned upside down. All the devotees went crazy and were banging on the walls of the Sankirtan van, laughing and yelling and pouring congratulations on the first devotee on our team to sell a Krishna book outside the temple. We sensed that the impossible had just happened and that this was something big. It was a breakthrough for ISKCON. That was the very start of the book distribution start. And that was, wasn't it, Adoxia? That was the real start of it all. When the book. Yeah. Seventh count. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. 6:15. Book 7. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, we'll read the Sanskrit. Shinarada Itad Vamana Yogva Viramati Amsevastrita Pupita Sudino Raja Sevaka. Read it once. Yogva Viramahamati Amsanavastya Kappa No Rajavaka. Translation. The great Srimad Muni continued. The great soul Prahlad Maharaj became silent after saying this to teachers, Sanda and Amarka, seminal son of Skaracharya. These so-called Brahmins then became angry with him because they were servants of Anyakasipu. They were very sorry and chastised Prahlad Maharaj. They spoke as follows. Okay. Great sage Namuni was at this meeting. The soul Maharaj been saying to his teachers. Of course, he had said that he would gone for the previous verse. He would bend his absolute dedication. Of course, he was a self-realized soul, as I learned. The very beginning, life, small boy, but he was a self-realized soul. He was not a demon, but he's a famous devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. He wouldn't bend for these so-called teachers who were supposed to be Brahmins. They were supposed to be Brahmins. And it says here, seminal sons of Sukracharya, which practically means that they're Brahmins, but only in name only. They were certainly not Brahmins following, like we are taught to believe that a Brahmin must be the purest of pure and totally honest, and all the qualities that Brahmins have. They were actually lackeys to this Harakasi, the demon. And so therefore, when you get a situation like that, it's actually a disaster, because the entity, by example, Brahmins being the highest section of the spiritual order. So they had deviated away, and they were trying to convince little Prahlad Maharaj, listen, what are you doing? Can't this? We're teaching you to be actually demon, to get away from the very teaching. Prahlad Maharaj is so dovetailed, the very beginning, such an exalted devotee, so dovetailed, so strong in his convictions, so empowered, that this was never happened. They couldn't understand this. They were going, this wee boy's just to follow our instructions. We're his teachers. But it didn't matter. They were going to see him as a divine boy. And they didn't understand. And as Brahmins, this Sanda and Amarka, who were under the directions of Hiranyakasipu, who they would probably be afraid of, was demons. Purport. Oh yeah, sorry. The means semen. The sons of Sukracharya were Brahman by birth. An actual Brahman is one who possesses the Brahminical qualities. The Brahmans and Amarka, being seminal sons of Sukracharya, did not possess real Brahminical qualifications for the engaged servants of Hiranyakasipu. An actual Brahman is very much satisfied to see anyone, not to show off his disciple, devotee of Lord Krishna. Such Brahman may satisfy the Supreme Master. Brahman is strictly prohibited from becoming a servant of anyone else, for that is the business of dogs and Shudras. A dog must satisfy master, but a Brahman does not have to satisfy anyone. He's simply meant to satisfy Krishna. This is the qualification of a Brahman. Sanda and Amarka were said Brahmanas had become servants of such a master as Hiranyakasipu. They necessarily wanted to chastise Prahlad Maharaj. The importance of this purport is that Brahmans being away from the rigid teachings, and so forth, they had become inimical to Prahlad Maharaj, and because of that, then he's a Brahmin. He's actually a traitor to the Brahmin. So sometimes I could actually tell you exactly that when I was doing the door years ago. I met a Christian minister. He had a collar, and I shut the door, and when he came to the door, he was drunk. He was actually intoxicated. They're supposed to be Brahmins for Christians. You know, they're the Brahmin, they're the intoxicated, you know. Ask yourself. And he says to me, he was quite intrigued, and he said, would you like a whiskey? I oh, don't drink. And he was like, what? Oh, that's a bit fanatical. Anyway, she got long short, that's a typical thing. And this day, we'll see, they don't be trained up to freedom and tolerance. And this is where our real strength lies, of course, as devotees. So, Hiranyakasipu, as you know, you probably know most of you here, study your books, was a demon, and he had a saintly spirit, and he tried to dominate the tree. So actually, to make him into a so-called worldly man, you know, to be a businessman, politician, to be the top dog in the material world, but little lad wasn't interested. He was fixed up saint for the very beginning. And what a saint he was. So he tried everything to deviate away from his principles. So we should never become deviated like that. We should be fixed up totally. Fixed up being chanting all around, and it gives strength, determination, enthusiasm, compassion, all the things that goes with being a devotee. Because we are actually training to be, maybe we don't reach the high standard that's needed as just yet, or as such. It's a gradual thing. But we are being trained to be Brahmins. And not only that, we go out mostly come by to help us preach modern mode, to help this fallen world come away from sinful activity, which is a cause of all misery. We understand it like that. And we're attracted, also that just yesterday, we're attracted to the material energy, the sun, the moon, the sky, the rivers full of water, the trees. But just looking at them, we should get an understanding that these are expanded energy. The expanded energy, so we respect the earth like that. We benefit so much. Mother Earth because of this. We wouldn't even harm a fly. We wouldn't kill an ant. So, to become a man, this is what Prabhupada brought us, this type of training, to get to a stage of purity and dovetailing energy with Krishna. And in that we get satisfaction. For example, we've just got on the back to Van, an amazing time we had, chanting, dancing, and feasting. We make progress, right? To do it like that. So, purification of Krishna consciousness, chanting, dancing, purifies our hearts. purifies our hearts. Our hearts become overflooded with love. What everyone lacks. Because the world improves when we become Krishna. It improves. We improve, and we improve everything round about us. We get to the age that everyone's looking for as a pure consciousness. There's a little bit like Maharaj already in that stage. Sometimes the devotees are born, they're already in that stage. Rona Prabhupada was, in his young life, he's pure from the very beginning. He was doing ratas as a young boy. But we a wee bit longer. We have to take a wee bit longer. We're not just jumping right in and becoming great mamas. But chance is there for us. Everything's there. And in modern times, there's a big explosion in the yoga practices. Yoga's everywhere in this material, but they don't know the right yogic process. And we have it here in this Srimad Bhagavatam, explaining the life of these great devotees, and they inspire us. Srimad Bhagavatam, great devotees are explaining the relationship with Krishna and how to revive it. They're explaining to us, we need to explain to us how to revive clean heart purification, so that we become a conduit through which we can go out into the world and help other people to maximum benefit being they'll get the chance to free themselves. We educate them, because this is an education. This educates you. It's very educational. Totally educational. If you get an education in this, you've got the top education. You can't get better. And not only that, it's purifying. And so when we reach the stage of purity of heart, then love floods up for Krishna. Because we want a relationship with Krishna. And it's a lovely thing. And see, when you've got that love, if it overfloods the heart, you become sort of able to go out and help the people of the world. Just a wee example of that. I heard an amazing thing when I was doing at the manor. It was actually stunned me, and I identified with it right away. There's a great devotee down there called Vishwambara. I said, he's 42-year brother. He's been a staunch devotee for 42 years. And he was telling the young book distributors in the manor, these young, enthusiastic young men from Wales, it's about love. To love people, you must learn to love people. You must learn to love people. It's possible. It's totally possible. It's saying to them, you must learn to love people. All of the people of the world are your related. Therefore, it behooves you to learn to love them. Now, when you learn to love people and put aside the small petty differences, then you can start to catch them to become devotees. They see it in you, and they see that they see the love in you, and that's the highest thing. And they want some of it, and that's where the books come in. You know, they're just waiting for the books. So I know I tend to talk about books. I said the other day to my godbrother, and he says to me, Jambhavan, you always say the same things. He says, you're always saying, never been a better time for giving out books. Never been a better time. But actually, I really believe it. I really do. I really see that there's something happening in the society at this time. People are searching for spiritual answers, spiritual solutions to the material problem. They're looking for it. And it's coming out more and more, becoming so dissatisfied. So dissatisfied. And so therefore they meet people like us. And we've got these amazing books just waiting. And the books are dynamic. They're totally dynamic. Just like yourself, Alan. You read a book. And so you're sitting here. I read a book. I'm sitting here. Doc says you read a book. You're sitting here. Ishan read a book. He's sitting here. Mila Manjari read a book. She's sitting here. So, but the great saints that are in this book, has anybody read the book through? Has anybody, apart from Dr. Job probably, anybody read the book right through? Jayananda's read the Bhagavatam. Some book. And you may not understand all of it, because it's very high knowledge, but there's parts of it that are so relishable. And, well, take time and start at the beginning and go to the end of this book. That is what Prabhupada wanted. That's what all the acharyas wanted. All the great acharyas going right back to Lord Chaitanya to study these books. Because by studying the books, you'll become convinced. You'll become convinced. That's what happened to me. Eh? And it's open to anybody. Anybody read one line, one word, can change your life. So, the Brahmins must be pure. And they must have all these qualifications. Otherwise, they're no Brahmins. They're Brahmins in name only. And they unnecessarily chastise Prahlad Maharaj. But you all know that, most of you know the story about little Prahlad, how he had to take all this suffering, all the things that were thrown at him. But you know, he passed the test easily. And great saintly people seem to do that. They seem to be able to take any kind of suffering and overcome it. They're always put to the test, saintly people, real saints, or even a person just good, you always be tested. But we have something special about us. We become so determined to carry this knowledge, this understanding. It's not just for ourselves. It can't be just for ourselves. It must be passed on. It must be passed on. That's why we're preachers, we're teachers. It's such a potent, you can't back off. And we're not fanatics. We're just enthusiasts over this. We know we can make a change to the world through this knowledge. We definitely can. There's always a chance for preaching. Is that right? The other day we were coming home in the plane, and a young lady was sitting, she was terrified. She was sitting on the plane, she was terrified. She was clutching her boyfriend. She was like that. She was like, I'm sitting next to her. She was like, she can't look at her, she's scared. And so I'm out with my beads, starts to chant. She's looking at the beads. She's looking. But she's really scared. Her boyfriend, he's trying to comfort her. And after we get leveled out, after the takeoff, she said, can I ask you what is that you chanting? And I took out the beads and I showed her. And I told her, I says, when I start to meditate, it soothes my heart for anxiety. Wow, she's gone. So, anyway, to cut a long story short, I told her, I gave her a wee bit of philosophy about yoga, meditation, and she loved it. She really liked it. So, even when you're on a plane, you can get a chance, and she chanted the mantra perfectly. She chanted the mantra perfectly. She says, can you say the mantra after me? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And she followed me perfectly. Now that's amazing because the young lady never heard that mantra. And she chanted it perfectly. So the upshot was, she thanked me and I said, oh, I hope I'm not being intrusive. And she says, oh, and that's amazing. I travel many times in the plane and I can't get over the fear. I can't get over the fear. And she traveled many times, she told me. And to top it off, a doctor just slips over a wee garage sticker. Just to put the cherry on the cake. A doctor just slips on a garanga sticker. And that's one satisfied customer. So yeah, you see it like that. There's so much opportunities for preaching. Even now, I'm still looking back and saying, wow, I've made so many mistakes. Why did I not do that? Why did I not do that? The mistakes were made. Opportunities were lost to preach. Because, I mean, when we're going out with these books of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, Science of Self-Realization. I go on the street sometimes and I see the Jehovah's Witnesses with their wee toty leaflets. And I've got these big amazing books. And I'm like that. I'm a wee bit proud, eh? I'm like that. I've got these amazing books. The Science of Self-Realization. Some people sometimes see it, they jump, they go, whoa. You ever seen that? You show me, go, wow. That's awesome. The front cover alone is awesome. Nobody's seen anything like it. I'll give you an example of that. We were in Stirling. Ishan was with me, with Panchat Tatla. And we had a great day together. No, we had a great day. And it was great to be with my young godbrothers because they inspired me and I hope I inspire them. But I was with them. And this nice lady comes out of a shop. First of all, Panchatapa catches her. And yeah, I'm interested in spiritually. She gives him a wee donation and gives him a small book. Then he goes to Ishan. You met her, Ishan, is that right? But you spoke to her. Ishan spoke to her. And she's captivated. She likes these wee Hare Krishnas. Then, and I'm watching, you see, because I'm like a hawk. I'm like a hawk on that street. I'm like a hawk. She comes back around. I says, well, I dare it third time, number 3. And she comes back. She says, excuse me. She says, no, I've just spoke to the other 2, your brothers. I've spoke to them. I says, yes, but I've got the special book. They never showed you the special book, right? And I showed up. She went, no, I didn't see that one. They didn't show me that one. You see? No, they didn't show me that one. I says, well, this is the special book. She says, oh yeah, I want that. And she gave me a donation. But here's the thing said. That's after meeting 3 years. And she saw that Science of Self-Realization. She called Anita Mayapur Sachi Aki. The point being, even the third time, she was a nice lady, you know. She was into yoga and that. And there's huge amounts of people out there now like that. Huge amounts of people out there like that. And not only that, I says, do you meditate? She says, oh, I like meditation. She says, come with me, come with me. Hurry along, come on. So what you got? I said, I've got something special for you. And I had beads. Took the beads out. I says, I'm going to show you how to meditate. Oh, she says, that's so nice. Showed it, and she chanted it perfectly. So even taking beads out, people want to chant and meditate. And we've got everything. We've got incense, the best. We've got beads, the mantras, the best. We've got the books, super best. So in that sense, it's a good time, as I say to you. I forgot his name. Eh? I keep calling him Ishan. But he's got a new name. He's got a new name. I keep saying, it's never been a better time. We have got so much going for us. And we have it's a fantastic process. And otherwise, I wouldn't have stood all this time coming. But take courage, you've got the best knowledge, most amazing understandings, and everything about how to bring yourself to the highest yoga platform. And you don't need to be the brains of Britain. You just need to be enthusiastic. Have a wee bit compassion for your fellow man and woman. You know, you just have to do that. It's not a difficult process. It's not, and I know a lot of you will. I'm pretty sure. We've got great leaders, Adoksaja Krishna, Prabhupada Prana, great leaders. And as well as that, they're funny too. You don't have to think that they're dour monks. I know they're into character. So as the future goes on, more and more, I'm just saying, at this time, we have got something amazingly fantastic. I don't understand how people haven't come. That it might happen yet. And throngs coming up that hill. I don't understand it. I don't know. But perhaps we can change that. And we'll do our utmost to try and change it. So anyway, we have the greatest philosophers in the world. That is my confidence. We've got the greatest philosophers in the world. But when you learn this philosophy from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, you've got to learn it without your personally motivated interpretation. You've got to learn it exactly according. You can't speculate on it. You have to learn it exactly as the Parampara wanted, as the sadhus sent it down. Right? You must learn it like that. You can't deviate a fraction away from what's being taught. And you know how we like to speak our minds. No. You have to do it by what the sadhus wanted, especially in our disciplic succession. Don't deviate a fraction away from it. And you'll not go wrong. Don't interpret it or don't try and add something to it, because that's not how it works. And if you stick tight to that, you'll do fantastic. It's meant to be understood. As a sloka in Bhagavad Gita, it's meant to be understood as the saintly kings understood it in that way. The saintly kings used to understand it as it was passed down, and the kings were saintly at that time. Of course, we know that that's not possible now, but the kings in past times were saintly men. were sadhus. Pariksit Maharaj, King Yudhisthira. These were devotee kings who took the knowledge and they used it to regulate the populace of whom they were ahead. And everybody was regulated. They had compassion for the people. They were pure devotees. They were kings. They were kings. And they had everything materially, but the love for Krishna was totally amazing. And that's how they regulated. Questions? Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Very inspiring, very encouraging on book distribution. And it's amazing to know you've been distributing more than 30 years. Very enthusing. I have a question on the shloka, Prabhu. I'm struggling to understand, and maybe the English language or something kindly help me understand. So it says in the translation, the last sentence, because they were servants of Hiranyakashipu, they were very sorry. And to chastise Prahlad Maharaj, they spoke as follows. What does it mean they were very sorry?
Okay, because they were servants of Hiranyakashipu, they were very sorry. Well, to be honest with you, I'll try my best to answer this. They were Hiranyakashipu's lackeys. And they were very sorry that Prahlad Maharaj couldn't be swayed away from his fixed understanding. They were sorry because of that, because they had to go back and face Hiranyakashipu. They had to go back and face him. And they were sorry, all right, because he wanted exact, you do as I say. You do as I say, I'm telling you. They were feared him. Everybody was feared of Hiranyakashipu. So they were sorry. Oh, we can't sway this son that we're supposed to have deviated him away from this philosophy of devotion and deviating them away to materialistic ideas. They were sorry because they couldn't go back and say, oh, Hiranyakashipu, we're sorry. We couldn't do nothing with your son. And they couldn't. So naturally they were sorry. Everybody is afraid of demons. Even in this material world, everybody's scared of them. We don't like to admit it, but we're scared of them. That's one of the reasons a lot of people don't go in books. Because one of the things we're feared of the general population. We're scared of them. We're feared of them. They say, oh, what will they do to me? They're bad people. But actually, it's not like that. But we are scared of them. Prabhupada said that. He says, we're actually afraid of the demon. They make the material world hell. We want it to be peaceful, loving, compassionate. We want that. But, and I think that's what that means, Prabhu. We're sorry. Oh no, it'll be going like that probably. Who's going back to tell Hiranyakashipu? You could imagine his rage. He was a fearsome person. Fearsome. Everybody was afraid of him, even up to the demigods were afraid of him. He was on this earth, the demigods in the planet were, oh no, Hiranyakashipu. What we're going to do here? They were afraid of him. They were afraid of him, man. Is that all right, Prabhu? Yes. Well, by listening to other devotees who can tell you that actually the big boogeyman out there isn't the big boogeyman. Because there's still people who are very nice out there. And a lot of people who want the change. They want the change. They just don't know what it is. They're looking in the wrong direction. So by listening to other devotees who've done it and telling them, you don't have to be afraid. Actually, sometimes when you're on your seat, you can see people that are afraid of you. See the Hare Krishnas and they're like, that's the Hare Krishnas. Wait a minute, I'm going into this shop. I suddenly need something. You can see it happening, actually. But actually, if you walk over with a smile, makes a big difference. You go over with a smile and say, hello there, how are you? Adok says, I watched him a few times. No, you can learn from people. How are you? You know, my auntie. You know, you can be funny about it. You don't have to be serious. And that's how I would look at it. But to be truly in your heart so want to do books, you've got to read the books and capture Prabhupada's heart. You've got to capture his heart. Prabhupada was so much, please, he's pleading with you, please, give out my books, please. Adoksaja's, I got a picture of Adoksaja, and it's right in the middle of my house. It's a beautiful picture of Prabhupada's. Prabhupada's eyes are looking at me, and there's like a wee tear in them. And he's almost crying for you to go, please, give out my books. Now, who doesn't want to please Prabhupada? Who doesn't want to please Prabhupada? He's pleading. Please, 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 give out my books. I've got this picture of Dr. James, and I think it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's an amazing picture. I'll get £1 million for it in the future when Dr. James becomes famous for his art. I'll get £1 million for it. I'm only joking. But it's an amazing picture. He's captured Prabhupada looking at me. And I'm sitting in the house and I've got to look at Prabhupada pleading with me. When are you going out in the books? But you overcome fear. You've really got nothing to be fear of. And as soon as you cross that barrier, there's people who'll be nice to you. Generally, the people are nice. Prabhu.
So in the purport it says, a Brahmana is strictly prohibited from becoming the servant of anyone else. And we're trying to become Brahmanas in ISKCON. Just wondering, what does that mean for us? Because we're supposed to become the servant of the servant. Yeah. In the purport it says, Prabhupada's saying that a Brahmana is prohibited from being the servant of anyone, but we're trying to become Brahmanas and also trying to become servants of everyone.
Well, this says, you're right, he says, we're not like dogs in that sense. Well, we're not like dogs in that sense. In other words, a Brahmin, I think it refers to only being a servant of Krishna. And that's the only servant. But we're not working for Tom, Dick and Harry. We're not want to serve them. so like that. We're not we shouldn't be the servants of them. A Brahmin shouldn't be. He should be the servant only of Krishna. Is that right, Adoksaja? Yeah. Only of Krishna. He's dedicated to the one and only master as Krishna. And if you go and work for Tom, Dick and Harry Krishna.
Everyone that we're trying to serve is a representative of Krishna. When we're on Sankirtan, we're serving the people out there as well by giving them Krishna, right?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
you can't estimate, and I want to push the agenda, but I really do at times as well. You can't estimate the value. We can't even come close to estimating the value of the book distribution. It's just, I mean, if you come back from it, you feel satisfied, eh?
Hare Krishna, bro. How do we take it like we devotees go out distributing so many books, thousands books, but still we don't see many becoming devotees, and we don't know whether who is actually reading the books. And sometimes we find the books are lying in the street, one odd book or one odd book has gone into the bin. How do we see this, like thousands of books distributed, but we don't see anyone contacting the temple as such? We don't find many becoming devotees.
Okay, I'll attempt to answer that one. It's deep in the darkness of Kali Yuga anyway, and people are just lost the clue towards that we're spirit souls. It takes a long time to understand that you know the body. It takes quite a while. It takes a bit of application to understand you're the soul. And the material world out there has blinded people. And when they've got wealth like that, everybody's got 2 cars. Everybody's got beautiful homes. Even junkies have got beautiful houses. I've seen them. I've actually seen them. I've got the carpets that thick. They're junkies. I'm not lying about that. That's true. I've actually seen it. So they're totally blinded by material facility. They've got, and they're puffed up. They think, oh, we're doing great, eh? I'm going with 2 holidays a year to Spain. But that is a symptom of the age of Kali. And they've maybe not suffered enough yet. They've more suffering to come, maybe. There maybe could be. I mean, they're saying that this wee upsurge in interest in Krishna consciousness that we see, the surge of searching for spirituality, yoga, meditation, these 2, yoga, meditation, is because they suffered that bad during COVID. They're all threatened with death. Everybody was threatened. It destabilized the country, and people are now questioning. Wait a minute. They're actually on the verge of saying, well, maybe we've got it wrong. Maybe, dare I say, maybe there is a God. Mary, you don't dare say that. You're going to the bingo tonight. You can't be a devotee. Don't you dare say that. Mary, you're going to the bingo tonight. It's like that. It's like that. But now they're starting to think, wait a minute, there could be a God. There could be a God. That's what I feel. I think they're on the verge of saying, there could be, dare I say it, there might be a God after all. I told you about that. You should have let me go to the church when I wanted to go. If you understand me like that, I think it's on the verge. I think, unless I'm wrong, ask a doctor, he might be able to put an extra bit on that. You know, I think they're on the verge.
When we first take up Krishna consciousness ourselves, we read a book and then we join. So we assume that's what's going to happen with everybody else. But Vasudeva Sabhamati, Samahatma Sudalabha, it's a very rare person that can do that. So they have to accumulate Sukriti over lifetimes. So what we're doing right now is we're planting seeds. Millions and millions of seeds are going. And then it'll take maybe a lifetime or 2 for those seeds to cultivate. So rather than being too focused on what's going on externally, we should become more focused on our own sadhana and how we're progressing. Because Prabhupada said the highest is to save yourself. So we do want to give everybody books and help them, but we especially want to help ourselves. So we have to develop a taste for the holy name, deepen our faith in Lord Chaitanya's words that everybody, he wants everybody. Mahajali is a network, a living network. Lord Chaitanya wants a living network that will take every soul back, whether they're Mayavadis or infidels or wherever they are. And that's Lord Chaitanya's desire. So it will take place in due course of time. And so we have our external thing that we're looking at the results, but then we also have to look at the internal. What are the results internally? Are we developing? Are we becoming free from our unwanted things? Can we sit there and chant the holy name without falling asleep? Can we sit there and chant without becoming distracted? If we can't, then we're maybe missing the whole point, you know. We're supposed to save ourselves first. And then for the others, it will take them maybe, Rupa Goswami says, once a person shows an attraction for studying the books, it indicates he's practiced devotional service in the past life. So the first thing is the books go out, they become familiar with the books, and then over a lifetime or 2, they start to become attracted, and then they become committed sadhakas.
Well, there you have it. It's we must never let go our determination, reading the books, absorbing them, becoming free from the doubts and uncertainties that plague us to say, maybe there's no, go right to the end, take it right to the end, become better devotees, more staunch, more enthusiastic, more loving, more compassionate, and help others get back home to Godhead, re-link up to them. So we, even although they might not be coming, as the doctor just says, they might not, but you don't stop because of that. Say, oh, they're not coming. No. You must go ahead. You must go ahead despite all obstacles and become a better devotee. Chant more, chant more attentively. Do books if you can, and you'll be rewarded. It's a great, amazing field for the books. And it's the highest thing you can do. So I think I'll close here. Is that all right?
Just Kartik Chandra, that devotee at the end, he broke down that Sanskrit verse from the Bhagavatam, and he showed there's 4 stages, and the ultimate stage is to achieve Goloka. But then before that, the initial stage is just that you take the book and you look at it and you say, oh, that's nice, but then you give the book back and you don't buy it. But for doing that, he's guaranteed a human form in his next life so that he can go to the next stage. The next stage is he looks at the book, he likes it, he purchases the book, and he goes back, but he doesn't do much about it. And then there's the third stage. I don't know what the Sanskrit words were now, but we can check out the class and find it. But then the third stage is he takes the book, he appreciates it, he takes it home, he buys it, and then he starts applying it. That's the third stage. And then the final stage is he actually goes back to Godhead. So those stages are there. So initially, if we're just going out and touching people with the books and just showing them a few pictures, and they don't even take the book, we don't do one book all day, still the future is very, very bright for all those people we came in contact with. They'll all be taking a human birth, and they'll take up to the next stage.
Yeah, that's amazing. One last thing. You see some amazing things happen on the street as well. Reciprocation with people. A young guy says to me in Perth years ago, I'm homeless, I'm out of work, I'm taking alcohol, and I got him to chant the mantra. And I met him a month later, a young man, fine young man, and he says to me, Hare Krishna, hey, I don't know what happened, but I mind you got me to chant. And I gave him a mantra to chant, one of the wee leaflets with the Hare Krishna mantra. He says, I'll not believe it. He says, I've got a job, I've got a flat. He says, and I'm doing all right. I says, he's still taking it. He says, no, I'm coming off it. He told me that. That's just one. I could tell you more. That would take a wee bit of time. That people told me things. And he says to me, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, Paul. I says, Hare Krishna. That's just one example. There's many more. So just think about it like that. Thank you for your persevering with me. And it's nice to have your association and read this amazing book. These books. Read them. They're amazing. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. If you're devotees, you must try it. You must go for it to read them. And they'll bring about a revolution in the impious lives of a misdirected civilization. Haribo. Haribo. Srila Prabhupada stands in there, a book distribution aquí.
Jai. Jambhavan Prabhu ki. Jai.
So, I think it's lunchtime, is it?